Welcome to this beginner's yoga practice for tight hips. If you are a complete beginner, this practice is perfect for you, and if you are already practicing yoga but you have tight hips, this is also great for you. So we're going to just start with our legs crossed, closing the eyes, keeping the spine up nice and straight. Just take a few deep breaths. Allowing the shoulders to soften. Just using these free breaths to just really come into your practice, into your body. And then slowly opening the eyes if you have closed them. I want you to just take some hip rolls. So we're going to take the right side of the body out to the right knee, and then leaning forward, come all the way to the center around to the left side, and then just sending weight back into the left hip, right hip, and taking circles. Nice big circles. We're really working into the hips here. If you're uncomfortable with your legs crossed, you can take your legs out straight, that's okay. Maybe just inviting a bit more space into each hip. So maybe as you lean to the right side, pushing the left hip down a little more to create more space. Remembering that this doesn't have to look any kind of way. It looks however it looks for you, and that's okay. And then changing directions. And so really just taking this time to be gentle with ourselves. Often if we have an area of the body that's tight or painful, we tend to be a little bit frustrated and angry with it. I just want you to send a bit of love to your hips today in this practice. And just remembering that every time we do something, each side is going to feel a little different to the other. Let's take one more. And then just arrive back into the center. Just take a nice tall spine. Take the hands out by the side of the body and just take a couple of reaches up with the arm, reaching them up all the way overhead, lengthening through the spine, and then let the hands come all the way back down towards the mat. Big reach up, lengthen, maybe look towards the hands if you want to, and all the way down. One more big reach up. And all the way down. Nice. So going to release the legs out nice and long. Take a little shake off of the legs. Little wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And then we're going to make sure that we're really on our sit bones. And we're going to take the right foot to the left hand. So you're going to bend your right knee. And then you're going to lift up your foot. You can use your hands to help you. We're going to take the right foot to the left hand. And then we're going to place, if we can, the right hand on the right knee. Now, if you don't have the flexibility range, you can take higher up. So you can maybe take on the shin. That's okay. Or you can just take the knee and do it like this. So you've got a couple of options. So if you can take the foot, we'll take the foot. And all we're going to do is we're just going to move through the hips. So left to right, moving through the hip. Going as slow or as fast as you want to. And just go nice and easy. Maybe we take some circles. Maybe your movement is really slow. Maybe you're here. That's okay. And then slowly come to stillness, but we're going to place the left foot onto the right leg. So it doesn't have to be all the way up here. It can even be down here, that's okay. If we can get it on the thigh is a good place to be. But if not, don't worry. So I'm just going to demonstrate it with the foot on the shin. And all we're going to do is we're just going to place the left hand down to the floor. And we're just going to push out the knee and the thigh to open up the hip and then let it come back up in towards the body. So if it's on the thigh, it might look a little like this. I'm just going to bring it in and out. Again, just working into those hips. Nice. And then slowly come to stillness. We're going to let that right foot slip over to the left side. So maybe it stays down here. Maybe we can bend it and it can just stay on the outside of the left leg. Losing my words today. What we're going to do is going to place the left hand onto the right side of the right knee. And then just take a twist out to the right side, looking over the right shoulder. And just taking a few breaths. So we're just twisting through the spine here. And then slowly come back to the center. We're going to change sides. So we're going to bring the left leg in now. So the left foot comes to the right hand. Remember, if we can't take the foot, we can take the shin. And we're going to place the left hand on the left knee. And then just move in and out with the hip. So going nice and easy and gentle with yourself. There is no need to rush. If you do feel you want a quicker movement, that's okay. Maybe just give yourself a bit of a quicker movement and then slow it down. Remembering that we're bringing love into the hips, not frustration and anger. Maybe we take some circles. Trying to sit up as straight as we can. And then gently come into stillness. We're going to place that left foot onto the right thigh. Right hand comes down to support on the ground. And then we use the left hand to push down into the leg. Bringing it up and in. Just giving some movement to that hip. And then gently come into stillness. We're going to take that foot to the outside of the right leg. Remember, it can stay down low. It doesn't have to be high. Take the right hand to the outside of the left knee. And then take the left hand to the floor. And gaze and twist around to your left side. So we're using the breath to help us ease into the pose. We're not pulling ourselves around and really stressing ourselves out. We just want to stay in the pose and then breathe deep and let the body move naturally. And then gently coming back into the center. Release the legs and shake them out. We're now going to do some movements through the hips. We're going to place the hands to the floor to support us and then bend the knees and place the feet to the floor. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the legs out wide, so take the feet out wide. And then keep the feet where they are, and then we're going to let the knees drop to the left side. Okay, we may need to adjust the hands to help us be a little bit more comfortable. And then what we're going to do is we're going to rotate here to the other side, but not moving the feet in terms of where they are located. So we're just going to move through the knees. So the feet stay where they are in terms of position on the ground, but they rotate now, and the knees come to the other side. So feet stay where they are, they just go on the outer edge and then the inner edge as we move from side to side. And once you've got this, because it is confusing sometimes, I often teach this in classes and people do get confused, so if you are confused, don't worry, just try your best to find the way and then go at your own pace. So just moving in and out at your own pace. You might find that you move along the mat and you might be in a different position. Some people often end up off the mat, and that's okay. So long as we're getting the movement in the hips, that's all that matters. And then for anyone who wants it, we can start to push up through the hips. Maybe we take one hand off. So when we arrive on one side, we can sort of lift the hips and push up. So we're lifting the bum off the floor. The hands might need to adjust, and it feels really nice on the hip. We're really creating a lot of space in the hip and opening up here. We'll just take a couple more. Nice. One more. And then come into stillness, into the center, bringing the feet and the knees back in line. So we're actually going to move now into a lay-in position. So I invite you to come down onto your back. So we're going to allow ourselves to shuffle and move around to get comfortable. And what we're actually going to do is the same thing we just did as we were seated, but we're going to do that laying down. So feet come to the outer edges of the mat. And we're going to really make sure that the lower back stays on the ground. So hands can reach out nice and wide. I'm going to let the knees drop to the left side. And we're going to stay here. I want you to stay here for 5 breaths. Trying to relax the legs as much as possible. And then gently start to prepare to come to the other side. Bless me, sorry. And then come to the other side, and you'll notice that the top hip is the one that's stretching out. And just stay here again for 5 breaths. And then gently, we're going to come back into the center. We're going to lift up the feet and bring the knees closer to the body. If we can bring them into the chest, bring them in. If we just need to grab the thighs, the back of the thighs or underneath the knee, that's okay. And all I want you to do is just rock from side to side. And this is going to help us release any tension in that lower back and the back of the hips. If you find that you're straining your neck and your shoulders because you're trying to hold on to your legs, just let them go and let them just hang, but keep them off the floor like this, and then just let yourself move on your lower back like this. You don't actually have to hold in the knees. So it's about just adjusting and making it work for you. And then gently coming into stillness. We're going to do one last pose so we can stay in this position, keep the arms out nice and wide, and bring the feet and the knees together. What we're going to do is we're just going to open up into a butterfly. So let the knees drop out and then let the soles of the feet come together. This might feel quite intense for some people, so my right hip is screaming at me right now. All we're going to do is we're just going to take some deep breaths, and we're going to relax the hips, and we're going to relax the lower back and the bum cheeks. And you'll notice that there'll be some resistance as the leg starts to relax. There might be a bit more tension that comes, and then you might sort of retract and bring it back in. That's okay. Just use the breath to ease back in and relax as much as you can. Try to focus, relax in the muscles as you exhale, and it's going to help you surrender into the pose a little bit more. Try and relax your shoulders and your back. And just notice if you're holding any tension in your hands. A lot of us hold tension in our arms and our hands without even realizing. And this is the beauty of yoga. It really helps us see where we are holding tension a lot. And when we start to discover how much tension we are holding, we realize how much stress we are holding. And this really impacts our health. So really using this time on the mat to help improve your health, help improve that connection with your body. We're just going to take a couple more breaths, that is. And then gently bring those legs back in. Maybe we do a little hug into the chest again, or just lifting the legs up and moving from side to side. And then we're gently just going to let ourselves rock on to one side to come back up into seated. Getting there, however, is good for you. So that is the end of our practice. If you are interested in deepening your practice and learning more and going a little slower into poses, I do have a beginner's course. I will leave the link in the comments and the description below. It is £33 and has, I think it's 26 videos. It's a really good course to get you going. You go at your own pace, it's self-paced. We really break down the poses and get you into the position near the end of the course where you're able to follow a flow with confidence and with ease. Please subscribe to the channel and you will be notified when we have more videos that are released. We'll be releasing lots. And if you have any requests, you would like anything specific, please drop it in the comments and we will make it for you. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you soon.